Just like with squares and square roots, cubes and cube roots are opposites of each other. And what a cube does is it takes a side length, so I have this in blue. We start with the side length or edge length, and when we cube it, we end up with volume. So cubing takes side length and converts it into volume. Cube rooting is going to take a volume and convert it into side length. So for example, if I have 3 centimeters of length and I cube it, I get 27 cubes of volume. And the opposite will happen with cube root. So if I start with 64 cubes of volume, when I cube root it, I'll find that the cube has an edge length of 4 centimeters. So to calculate the volumes of these cubes, we start with the edge length. We could do 2 times 2 times 2, but we're going to cube it. So we're going to take the edge length of 2, cube it, and our calculator is going to give us the volume of 8 cubes. When we start with an edge length of 3 and we cube it, the side length of 3 cubed gives us a volume of 27 cubes. Now the opposite occurs when we have the volume. So this is 64 centimeters cubes. Those are 64 cubes. To find the edge length, we cube root. So we take the cube root, we use a cube root button on our calculator, not the square root. We don't want to mix up the cube root and square root. The cube root takes 64 cubes and finds an edge length of 4 centimeters. So that means that I can make this cube by having an edge length of 4 centimeters. So I have 16 squares, and I'm going to have 4 layers of 16 squares, and that's going to give me the 64 cubes that I'm looking for. Okay, so if I were to count out the number of cubes in that, that's going to be 64 cubes, and the opposite means that 64 cubes gives me an edge length of 4 centimeters. So if I start with a volume of 27 cubes, I'm going to cube root that. So 27 cubes, cube rooted gives me 3 centimeters of edge length. So that means that my edge, if it's 3 long, I have 9 on the face, and I can make 3 layers of 9 to give me the 27 cubes that I'm looking for. So I can just sketch that in. And that edge length of 3 is going to give me 27 cubes. 27 cubes, cube rooted, is going to give me an edge length of 3 centimeters.